It is about time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel, Crystal Lake Plot Creators. Everything we know so far, we haven't got any news on this show for months. Unfortunately, we're on Collider, but, you know, just work with us here. Etep right back here with, for those of you who don't know, if you're new here, Friday the 13th, kind of my thing. You know, the inspiration for my first tattoo. It's my favorite horror franchise. I love everything about it. I really do, except Jason Goes to Hell and Freddy vs. Jason. And anyway. I wanted to go through this article with you guys because, number one, I have a dope-ass Crystal Lake channel, which I have neglected for so long. All right, I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look through some of this. It's a lot of word salad, but I'll just kind of talk through some things. And there are a few things that I haven't seen before related to the casting and things like that. A few things that make me a little bit nervous, but I'm going to proceed with cautious optimism because I love this franchise so much. But trust me, if it gets the modern audience treatment, I'm not going to be pleasant to be around when this comes out next year. This is all just basic information. You know, we know about how many feature films. We don't talk about the 2009 remake around these parts here. You know, Friday the 13th, the series, I watched that as a kid. I was disappointed at first that Jason wasn't in it. On the other hand, I still enjoyed it because it was just kind of a cool show. It was creepy. The artifacts were neat. But yeah, Freddy vs. Jason, it talks about that crossover. Everybody we all waited for since the time we were kids in the playground, talking about which slasher was the baddest. Mine was always Jason. Although I am a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, my favorite Freddy movie of the entire mythos. Wes Craven's New Nightmare, a close second. But so we going back into this. A new page will be turned as the storyline moves back in time with the latest installment in the Friday the 13th franchise, the prequel/remake series Crystal Lake. Now, this right here, last time we talked about this, I don't think they used the term remake. This did go back to Victor Miller, the rights, who is, you know, the original creator, wrote the original script. You know, Sean S. Cunningham produced. So.
Shut up, bitch!
You know, I don't like things that I love and I'm heavily invested in, you know, getting the modern remake. You know, we talked about this. So this is kind of concerning. Who's making Crystal Lake? Production on Crystal Lake has moved forward following a legal battle over production rights, which was between Cunningham and Miller, has been well documented. Bryan Fuller, who previously worked on Hannibal and Star Trek Discovery, not a ringing endorsement. Bryan Fuller will collaborate with A24, who's had some hits, and Peacock. And lest we forget, Peacock released that movie They Them with Kevin Bacon, who was in the original Friday the 13th in 1979. Remember arrow through the neck as he laid down the bed and smoked a joint. Can't smoke pot in these movies, folks. Let that be a lesson to you. So anyway, moving back. So Bryan Fuller is creating this series with Stephen Dodson.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here!
Who is set to write and direct and executive produce. Kevin Williamson of Scream will also write at least one episode of the series, joining Stephen Dodson as executive producer is Victor Miller, who wrote the original Friday the 13th film. God, please, he holds the rights. Don't let them fuck this up, Victor. Do not let them make this shit stupid. Additional producers include Bryan Fuller, Carl Gwen, Rob Barasiman, and Victor Miller's copyright attorney, Mark Toberoff, who oversaw obtaining the production rights. Apart from the producers and writers, it's worth noting that Crystal Lake may bring back Tom Savini, which would be amazing. Tom Savini worked as a special effects makeup artist on Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Tom Savini is a god in the special effects genre, and it would be an amazing thing to bring him into this. Hearing things like that give me that level of optimism as a Friday the 13th fan that I really, really, really hope that this goes well, because like just hearing, you got Miller, you got Tom Savini. I want to know if Harry Manfredini is scoring the show. It's hard to picture a actual Friday the 13th type without Harry Manfredini's haunting melodies and just great script. He just put so much into that, and it worked so well with the movies. God, I want to go watch one now. When will Crystal Lake come out? I've discussed earlier that this will be out sometime in 2024, as announced by Fuller and Peacock. Yeah, Adrienne King, Alice Hardy, she is coming back for this with a recurring character. Here's a picture of her and Bryan Fuller, who looks, never mind. I'm just going to, fingers crossed, this is going to be good. It's not going to be stupid. But Adrienne King, Alice Hardy's character, in the first movie, and then the brief appearance in the beginning of the second one when she got the ice pick to the dome. She's coming back. I would love to see her play Mrs. Voorhees. I think it would be phenomenal. I think she could do it. I think she has the acting ability. God, she looks Betsy Palmer-esque. Not the same hairstyle, but just the age, and she's got the light hair. I get all the feels seeing Adrienne King back here. That would be awesome. I mean, I wish there was a trailer. That would be cool if we got a trailer. But I mean, there's really nothing to have a trailer for yet. We don't have anything. I don't know how they're doing in the writing process. Well, they're probably not writing anything right now, obviously. I imagine they might have some, treatments done for the series. They probably do, in all honesty. Who am I? The cast of this, King confirms she'll be a recurring character in the series. And here is the writer's room. Now, this is the writer's room for this show, folks. I should not look at appearances and say you don't look like a horror writer to me, but
He's out of line, but he's right.
this looks like the fucking Batwoman writer's room. That is the problem I have with this right now. This is aesthetically, like I said, this is a Batwoman writer's room, folks, and that is what I don't want for this series. I don't want it to be treated like that. Frank Volpe will join King in the cast as the infamous killer Jason Voorhees. Volpe is known best for his performances in Game Day, Talons of the Phoenix, Human Hibachi 2, and most recently, Sacrum Vindictae. There has been not any other listed castings for a younger Jason Voorhees at this point, but that doesn't necessarily mean there won't be a flashback scene that shows Jason as a young child. Carl Gwen, who is also producing, will be playing a character named Adira. Emily Meisner and Tyler Jones Palmer will take on roles of Sam and Adam, respectively. Meisner has previously worked on projects such as Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, as well as Mayor of Easttown. Tyler Jones Palmer has an extensive resume of short films and appearances in television shows such as Kindred and Dirty John. Additional cast members Jackie Watkins, Joe Tyler, and Scott Tomlinson. Watkins, who appeared alongside Meisner in Army of Dead and Mayor of Easttown, will be playing a character named Imala. Joe Tyler will take on the role of Officer Christian, and Tomlinson will play a character named Isaac. So some of the character names there. I haven't really looked into Frank Volpe yet. I'm literally reading this article with you guys. All right, so Frank Volpe, that is playing Jason, the actor himself is like 5'9", 185. I'm sorry, my guys, my dude's under 6 foot. That is a fucking small Jason.
Words are like bullets, and I let them pass right through me.
Like, I'm sure he's built, it's IMDb, but I mean, he said, they said he's built athletic tone. 5'9", 185 ain't Jason Voorhees. The only way I can see this is him, Jason, the early years, living in the woods pre Friday the 13th Part 3, when he came back as the more hulking type. I think it would be him playing the Friday the 13th Part 2 overall pillowcase over the head, one eye hole type Jason, pre-hockey mask, because if you're going for a Jason Voorhees and he's that small, I mean, that's not Jason. That's not. Like, it doesn't work that way, Pippin. Like that.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
And I'm not saying he's not going to bulk up for the role, but I mean, unless he's wearing lifts in his shoes, a little undersized for Jason. The plot of Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake is set to be a prequel series that leads up to the events that took place in the original Friday the 13th film. For now, the synopsis states a group of friends vacation at a house that is connected to a dark past. Clearly, there are a lot of directions the series can go from there. While exact plot details have been kept under wraps or under the lake, haha, it's safe to wonder if we might get to see a younger version of Jason as he interacts with campers and counselors at Crystal Lake in reenacted flashback sequences from the first film. Of course, the first film bounces back and forth between 1958 and 1979 with a reference to Jason drowning in the lake in 57 due to the negligence of camp counselors. While the first film primarily takes place in 79, the timeline that is referenced in the first film spans over 3 decades, giving ample choices for when Crystal Lake will take place. A lot of stuff they can play with there, back in time. I want the aesthetic of this to be like period accurate, and I want to talk about this right here, because this is what we were talking about with Frank Volpe. It's quite possible that Crystal Lake could take place prior to the 50s, but it's most likely the series will take place between the 57-58 deaths and the ones that occurred in 79 with the newly reopened camp. The actor listed as playing Voorhees is an adult, so it's likely the series will not focus on Jason's childhood. Fuller has previously stated that Crystal Lake is less of a prequel series than a pre-remakeable series. The remake thing is coming into play here. Now, I've stated previously in other Friday the 13th and Crystal Lake videos that I've done that they had an option for 4 seasons. They had to Peacock had to pick up a guaranteed 2, or else they would have to pay a fine at the back end. So there is a plan possibly for 4 seasons of this. All right? I want one right. We're going to get 2. I want to see how the first one goes before I get hyped for anything further, because me and Mini Jason will be watching. And this is one thing I like, is Fuller said, when asked if there were limitations on using characters and locations from the Friday the 13th franchise, Fuller said, everything. We can use everything. We can go to hell. We can go to space. That's not to say we will do those things, although if we do go 10 seasons, I will be lobbying hard to go to space.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I like the fact that they have the entire catalog at their disposal. I really do. That opens it up. And as somebody who has been clamoring for more Friday the 13th since I saw the 2009 monster atrocity, that was...
That is one big pile of shit.
I need this to be good. You know, Womp Stomp Productions has done some wonderful independent films. They, Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow, Never Hike Alone 2 they're funding right now. I'm writing an independent horror Friday the 13th film, which is part of the reason why I started training again, because I want to play the Jason character and I want to look physically imposing. And me at 225, I look much more physically imposing than I do right now at 212. So that's what I want, and I want to bring that to the role. I have a background in professional wrestling. I'm a trained wrestler, which is basically a fucking underpaid stunt person. So I want to do this for those reasons. I have that background, and I love this franchise. And like I said, the few people that have read what I've written so far have said,
Excellent!
So there you have it, folks. There's what we know so far. There's a lot of my thoughts mixed in there with it. I knew this article was going to be a lot of word salad, but I thought there would be some stuff that we could talk about along the way and just do a video that was fun about something that I love, that I'm enthusiastic about, and I could share that with you guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Are you kind of hyped for this? Are you a Friday the 13th fan? Have you watched? I have reviewed the 8 that matter, folks. The 8 that matter. They're over in a playlist, the horror reviews. along with all the other horror-related content that I've done, is there. Check that out. You can go over and subscribe to our Camp Crystal Lake channel, which has 3 videos right now. I am working on getting more content over there. This might get uploaded there, the main channel, and over on Rumble. I am Etep Wakuian from The Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all these. If I don't see you, have a great day. Plus tomorrow, and I will catch you on the next one.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's better to burn out than to fade away. I could do this all day.
Cruise, thank you very much.
What's up, bro?
You're pushing your luck, little man.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.